How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, before we get started, I want to make sure the service is good when you don't cut
Yeah.
out,
Nah, you sound clear.
but everything seems to be good. Come on, sit down. All right, I'm gonna do this one thing and then we can start.
Very good.
So far, how's your day?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I got off work early.
Before work,
Well, I have a broken thumb, so I've been on light duty.
how you broke it?
I had a ladder fall on me at work, and when I caught it, it bent my whole thumb backwards. And tried to go to work the next day, and I was like, yeah, I can't grab nothing. Lo and behold,
Sounds funny. Oh, righty, that's done. All right, now we can go and get started. I'll let the people know that we're live, and then they can jump in when they jump in. Oh shit, you tell me. It's fine. But um, new guest, new story. New perspective. I came onto the podcast to tell us your story, give us your opinion, and just give the car scene another good perspective to put out there because of the bad taste we already get from outsiders. So I'm gonna get it for you. Explain yourself, and then we'll get started.
yeah, I'm actually super, super excited to be on here.
Holy crap! I said explain yourself. My fault. I meant introduce yourself. Then we'll get started.
um, my name is Cheyenne. Um, or as my IG handle, I do go as VQ. Um, I actually recently just got into the Infinities. I actually am a Mopar girl. I had a Scat for a couple years. So I kind of switched up a little bit. Um, and I've actually been having a lot of fun in the VQs, and the hate is very social media based. Very social media based. And it's ironically funny. I do come from a car family. Um, they're all LSs. They like Chevy. So it's kind of weird that, I went Dodge and not Nissan. Um, big whirl up, but I've always been in the racing scene. Like my uncle, he was building race cars. Him and my grandfather were going and racing them in Philly. So I've always been around the car scene. And I first came out as a racer. Um and then I got into the sliding and drifting and stuff like that later on. Um, actually, right before I got my first VQ, I actually got into sliding heavy. Other than that, my family is really what the cars. I mean, I have other hobbies and I do have like my career path isn't cars, but my
Okay.
family was my biggest supporters. Even when I got my charger, my dad stood behind me going through we went through like 4 or 5 dealerships before I even found like that one, and I wasn't even looking at that dealership. I think that day we had me and my mom had drove by. I just saw a charger and I was like, "Mom, that's the one. That's the one." A week later, my dad drove me down there and we signed the paperwork and I got my car. Um, but even, like, when I started building, my dad was behind me. He got sent my first race video, came back and gave me $100 because I did win it. So, they've always been my supporters with whatever car build I've wanted to do or dabble in, and I've been really, really grateful for that. Really grateful for that.
That's dope. That's dope. The support early on is dope. Um, so take us back. What did your dad and your uncles drive growing up?
Um, so my dad's actually a tow truck driver, but he used to work. I don't know if you're familiar with the Top Fuel dragsters. He used to work for Doug Foley. So every couple summers for 6 months, he'd be gone working on his cars in the pit crew. And we'd get like pictures from Canada and stuff like that. My uncle and my cousin own a business, Black Ops Hydraulics. They My uncle he used to do the racing. He was big into the Fox bodies, the notch bodies, and stuff like that. But now he's really big into getting like the Datsuns and the S10s, and he'd do the dancing beds. Um, Him and my cousin both do that. That's kind of um their thing. But my uncle used to babysit me when I was like 5, 6. I'm pretty sure my first tool was flathead screwdriver or something like that. I maybe a power tool.
Okay. So you definitely had it. Tell us your favorite moment growing up with cars.
I actually have it pictured and it's framed in my bedroom. My uncle had a notch body, and I actually watched him build it. Like, I think I was, like, maybe 10, um, and there's a picture of me and my cousin sitting in it. There's one of him in the driver's seat, me in the passenger seat, and then it's reversed, me in the driver's seat, him in the passenger seat. My uncle won that race that night, and it was just cool because it's like I always tell my mom, I was like, "Mom, I got to sit in that car. I got to sit in that car." Um, I love that car. That was probably one of my favorite builds that he ever did for the Mustangs.
But you say you had a Mustang?
Yeah, my uncle had 2 notch bodies that he built, and then I don't know what the green one was. He had a really pretty candy green with metallics that he was it was his show car, like, he had TVs in it. I think that was just a Fox body that he built. I actually think the green one was probably my favorite.
Okay. So with your you said your family was into LSs. How did you get into Dodge?
Um I worked at CarMax, and it was actually funny because we had, like, 2 or 3 chargers come in to our wholesale, and I got to be in inventory, so obviously, inventory, we get to check them in and stuff like that, so, I got to drive it in. I don't know, it's just the first time I sat in one, it was just like, "Yeah, I need to have one." Like, this is me. So and it's funny because we like, all of them couldn't be sold on the front lot because they were dog, they had modifications. I think one of them was a Hellcat, and it had, like, cams, headers, stock like, full-blown exhaust system on it. So, yeah, I just that first day, I was like, "Yeah, I need one. I need one."
And I tell you, when I first got into cars, it was like the donks, and then gradually went towards muscle. And my favorite car for a while was the Challenger. Like I still want one today. The only thing about them is they everywhere.
Yeah, that and when so I ended up wrecking my charger, because I got bored with the sliding, so I started building it up to race, and I was getting sponsors, so I was building it up, and I just built it to I just couldn't control it. It was just way too much horsepower for me. Way too much horsepower for me, and I had no right to be outside in the rain on bald ass tires. So, um after that, I don't know. I wanted to get another one, and that was, like, the whole plan was to if I couldn't get that one back to fix it and rebuild it, I was gonna go get another one. I started seeing them, like, everywhere. That color because I had the Nardo gray, and I'm like, "Yo, this is crazy." Like, everybody and their mother has one now, and it's like, "Alright, like, I want something different." So then I got in my first VQ. Now I'm seeing VQs everywhere.
Mm-hmm. The Qs are very popular.
Yeah, I got stopped, like, not even 2 weeks ago, and the cop is like, "Are you a takeover kid?" "Do I look like a takeover kid, sir?" He's like, "Oh, this is just a takeover car." "Okay, well, my car is not a takeover car. Thank you."
Hey, sad to say, but VQ's definitely got that rep for
They do.
yeah, that they got that takeover rep for sure. But me and my brother, we used to always talk about getting an Affinity. I think it was the G35. Was it G35?
What
I
year?
know he wanted the G35, and it was like the older ones, like a '08.
Yeah, I think well, mine's an '08. I think it's '07. It stops. Cause my 35 is a '05. This is an '08. So I think '08 and up were 37s. Now, I could be stand corrected. So if anybody wants to correct me, please. But I think it's from '08 up is G37s and then down. So from, like, 7 down, you're still in the 35s.
Okay, because when we got his best friend Courtney had an Affinity, and I think since then we both wanted one. Just we had the chance to get one, never did. He went towards Dodge, and I went towards Mercedes.
Mm,
Like his first car was a '06 RT.
okay, yeah, the older
Uh,
bodies.
yeah, I will say though that older body was keeping up with the newer bodies.
Would love to have a 2014 SRT8. Charger. That is like, if I didn't get another Charger again, I gotta go old body and it's gotta be SRT. But I think I would mess with some people's head if I told them my dream car.
What is it?
A Chevy SS, jet black with one pinstripe and the white wall tires.
Older or the newer SS?
Older. Older. Like in the 60s.
Old school. Classic.
Yeah. Classic. You only pull out on the nice summer days.
That's a classic for sure. Okay, so you said you got tired of sliding. How did you get into racing? Like, who basically put you on racing? Was it your pops?
Yeah, a little bit of my family. And I've always been an adrenaline junkie, so anytime I got to behind the wheel and I got to floor it, I would. My cousin is a big racer, but I actually got into a group when I actually got my first Charger. I met a club in Philly, C3, and most of them were racers. So it was just being around them every day, us always going to the race spots and stuff like that. It was just, I kind of got a niche for it and I started really, really liking it. And then, the takeovers, that was, in and around where takeovers became big and popular and it was almost an every night thing. And I thought the sliding was cool. So I was like, oh, I want to learn. But now it's just, I'd rather race than slide.
Respectfully. Um, like we always talk about takeovers on the podcast. Like, respectfully, I don't agree with takeovers. I wouldn't probably go to a takeover. Like it's ways to do it. It's empty parking lots you can do it
Oh,
at.
yeah.
But I will agree, every car person love to slide their car in some fashion. That's one thing we can't take from takeovers. Everybody want to slide their car.
Mhm. Mhm.
But we all
It just turned into an event and people watching and cops coming. I don't know. I think they're moving in a better direction with the legal pits. I think that's great. Giving, the quote unquote takeover kids something to do and give
Mhm,
them, hey, look, this is legal. You're not going to have to run. You're not going to have to spot hop. You're not going to have to, worry about this, that, or someone hitting you or a spectator running out in front of you. Um, so I think that's a great aspect, but legal pits have their own downfalls. Carried away, not to bring it up, but I mean, look at the past legal pit that just happened in Alabama. That wasn't a great look
go ahead.
for, oh, it was a bunch. People getting hit. Someone got choppered out. There was fights. People just purposely hitting people's cars because they accidentally slid into it. Like there was nothing he could have done. It was crazy. And I don't think that was a great look publicly for legal events. But legal events, I think they have potential. They do have potential. It's just everybody wants to slide and legal pits, it's kind of they give everybody a chance and not just the ones that just want to go in and slide for 5, 10, 15 minutes. And I think that's where everyone's having that break of, hey, I just want to get in the pit. I just want to get in the pit. Not everybody wants to slide with you. Not everybody really likes to do the tandems because if you hit my car, I
Mhm.
realistically, are you really going to pay for it? So I think legal pits have a great thing, but takeovers had their phase. I think for when takeovers happened and became a thing, I think it was great. Now I think it's time to change as everything else is changing. Cops are getting smarter. Lists are getting dropped. I mean, cops sit at almost every spot now. So I think it's time to change with the times and move more legally, going to legal events and letting it just be like a track days.
Mhm. I mean, with the car scene, I think takeovers is the one thing the car scene is trying to get away from because of the other rapid gales everybody else in the car scene. Now, like I said earlier, everybody want to slot their car. That's just a car person thing. But we all do it in ways where we don't put nobody at risk. If we do, it's only ourselves and our car that's at risk. And legal pits, definitely, it's the like I say it all the time. The amount of people who go and do takeovers, if they was to just to come together and just think logically, build your own legal pit somewhere. Like
Mhm.
really get your own spot and just go and just throw your car all day. Now you have a spot where the cops can't touch you down. You don't get no bad buzz about what you're doing. You don't get anything.
Mhm.
None. You have an environment you can just go and just enjoy legal pits all day. So I do think takeover should just turn to legal pits. There's so many people involved in takeovers. Just put your head together and just make your own spot, and then now y'all have your own spot just for that. I always say that like we could make it simple for everybody involved. Like,
Mhm. And we all at the end of the day can still have our fun and do what we wanna do and
mhm,
still slide and, and I it seems I mean, I've been seeing so many more legal pits popping up now, and I like to see them, like, I'm grateful that they got them, going down south and upstate. Like, I think it's nice to see. I mean, those that can travel, I think it's nice to get out of our own state, see different states. It shows a different aspect of the car scene. Takeovers are usually always in the city. Like, hey, we're making legal pits. We're traveling with this. Like, we actually get to go to Alabama, Tennessee, and I think that's really cool. Like, just being able to see different scenery with the cars.
it is for sure. It's dope. Again, now going forward with the legal pits, it does take the car scene in a better direction now because it's still a controlled environment because now they have. I never been in one, but we see them all the time. They have a controlled environment where, like you said, you can do it together by yourself, but still the environment in itself is controlled. That way now the public can't be like, oh, they out in the street doing whatever. They not now. They're taking it somewhere where where they put themselves, not even at risk, they just put themselves in their own environment to have their own fun
Mhm.
at. So
Yep.
going in that direction, I feel like it takes all that backlash off the car scene. And also with legal pits too, but the thing with takeovers is it gives people and that when you take over to give everybody in the car scene a bad rep. Like you got to experience that firsthand with
Oh,
that
yeah.
cop pulling you over. So it just gives everybody in the car scene a bad hand. But again, once you take that and throw it into the legal pit, now it's nothing nobody can really say about it because now it's in the environment just for that. So now it takes all that negativity out of the car scene because now they got their own spot to go do their thing at. So I do think going forward, legal pits is the right way to do it. Like I said, with so many people who want to do it, just put your money together and just go build a spot. You don't need that much land to build a legal pit.
Yeah, honestly. And I think it's starting to go that way, and I think that's a great plus, just like you said, it does take a lot of the backlash off of the car scene, and, adding to that, it takes a lot of the backlash off the cars, because the takeovers is what really spotted the cops with, "Oh, well, all Chargers slide," or "all VQs," or, it's gonna take off, so the people that do, like, I plan on turning this into a clean little daily eventually. It takes a little pressure off us, and we're not always like, "Oh, man, like, why are we getting pulled over now?" Is it because they're just making the assumptions or so I think give it another year or 2, and I think the car scene maybe will be back to something. I don't know if it's gonna be, like it was, but it's definitely gonna evolve, and I think it's going in the right direction. I mean, hopefully it's better. I'm definitely looking forward to the summer and seeing how that goes with the cars and coffees and everything.
Speaking of summer, I have a team through the podcast because the goal with the podcast is to make it more than just a podcast. So I think we're gonna try to plan our first couple car meets this summer coming up. Like I said, something we're still working on, but you on the East Coast and so am I, but I stay in Florida. So I'm pretty sure
Florida
we
got a nice
far.
little car scene.
The weather in Florida is perfect. Like, I mean, you get rain, but other than that, we don't deal with what y'all deal with, like snow.
Yeah, I'm
No,
still
we
looking at
straight.
snow now.
Yeah, no, see, like we don't. That's the one thing about Florida. Like, we have the perfect weather year round for like car stuff. So we be strict. Like that's no stuff. Mm, I won't. No parts of it.
Not real. Real.
No parts of it. But I want to ask you though, how do you feel about the car scene?
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. There's a lot of high and lows with the car scene. It comes with the cars. I mean, I think if you're a true car enthusiast, I think you kinda understand, there's always gonna be highs and lows with these cars. Always. Truthfully, I don't really plan on staying in it too long. I've enjoyed what I've been able to do with it, but I think I just was in the wrong time with the car scene, and I already had that sour taste almost to it.
Hmm?
Coming from, the takeovers and then now, all the fun we used to have when even if we weren't doing anything, just chilling in a lot till 2 a.m. Now that's, you can't do that. They're gonna chase you out. Um, I have high hopes, I guess I should say, for the future of the car scene, but I feel like just from everything that I've experienced, I feel like I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. Cars and coffees, legal fits. I think, catch me as a spectator, but I'm not sure how great the future is just because I feel like this generation coming up is just it's mommy and daddy money. And I don't mean like everybody's got mommy and daddy money. I just feel like
Hmm?
some of the people that are coming up now, they're just buying cars. Oh, I bought it. I bought it. I just wanted to buy it because I had the money. And I feel like it's lost. When I came in, the group that I had gotten to come in, it was about the build of the car. It was, "Oh, what are you gonna do next?" Not, "Oh, well, it's not fast enough, so I'm gonna go buy a Hellcat." I really wish some of the car enthusiasts would come back or they would, "Hey, wake up. Come on, come out of hibernation. It's our time now." But I it I hope for the best, but I don't think it's ever gonna be what it was, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. It definitely makes sense. Part part of the reason for this podcast was that was to try to bring back what the car scene is missing because the whole goal of it was if we can hear the community standpoint and what the community wants for the car scene going forward, you
Mhm,
know, not hear it from the big influencers, not hear it from the people with, all the money and everything else, but if you heard it from the people who's actually in the car scene about what we all want within the car scene, I feel like we can get back to what it used to be.
mhm,
So that's what we're doing on this podcast is to try to bring back that nostalgia of the car scene, bring back those late nights in parking lot and garages. Like, cause in 2023, that was me and my group. We was out till 2, 3 in the morning, almost 4 o'clock in the morning, just chilling, doing nothing but
yeah,
just
like
talking and chilling. But
yeah, just talking,
those,
listening to music, shooting the breeze, when you got some food, sitting there eating. And now you can't even do that. Like, I enjoy the cars and I enjoy being around them. And, I enjoy going to a legal pit. I enjoy going to Cars and Coffee, but you don't see the true authentic with the car scenes anymore because it's always about who's got the fastest car or who's got, the most expensive car when doesn't matter. If you love the car, you love the car. And I really would love to see the scene get back to that. More appreciation.
for
I don't
sure.
think that I think that's definitely been missed.
So that's truly what what we're doing in this community is bringing back the appreciation. It's not every car isn't built to be fast. It's not meant to be fast. I mean, yeah, you can
Mhm.
put mods to it. You can try to make it fast. But if you want to be on the fast side of the car scene, just go race, go to a drag strip. But it is a way to go be in that genre of the car scene. But
Mhm.
don't bring to the side where everybody just like they happy with what they got. They don't need all the horsepower. I mean, it's a daily. you can't use the horsepower every day anyways.
Yeah.
So, we all enjoy what we got. We just want to build it, do a nice clean build. It could be just cosmetic, it could be some engine stuff. But just the car scene, I think it's like I feel like it's in a great area because as you said, you kinda getting out of it because of what it's turned into. But I feel like it's kinda in that area because of the new scene it's taking, where we do have it's kinda not common not to see a nice bill, but then again, it is. Like, it is in the name. Like, you won't see, like, a
Mhm.
crazy horsepower bill at a car meet no more. And then if you do see a clean bill, it's pretty just cosmetics. It's not like, like, engine work. But I feel like that's kind of a good thing, though, because now, cosmetic-wise, you have a lot of people who just wanna do cosmetics to their car, but just keep it stock and reliable. They
Mhm.
don't wanna have all the horsepower. Then you have the ones that wanna build the crazy builds with all the horsepower. I feel like with the way the car scene is kinda divided with, one being the whole takeover scene, the way that it put a stain on the car scene.
Mhm.
2, I wanna say the ego to some people who actually and now to bring it up, and since you've been in the takeover scene, it's kind of a good way to pivot towards this conversation. So you have the takeover scene, right?
Mhm.
And you have people purely in the car scene that they mindset kind of just as bad, if not even worse, than takeovers. And I feel like with them two things, I feel like that's kind of what's giving it that bad taste. But I feel like it's more so the people who feel like they're above everybody else that's kind of killing the car scene.
Mhm.
Because now you got people not coming to car meets because of the people at the car meets. I feel like car shows are really the only time people come out. Like the car meets dying off only because if you try to have like a nice parking trail, you can't because it's always somebody doing something and it just kills
Mhm.
it. So I
And there's
feel like
always
that's
that
what
one person, even if you're just trying to do a park, there's always that one person that will ride through and two-step or rev their engine, and that's sad because I feel like it takes away, like, okay, like, yeah, that's fun, you can enjoy that, but let others enjoy what they wanna do. They just wanna park up in a parking lot and sit until 2 AM? Let them. Like, it doesn't always have to be loud chaos noise.
true. It really does it. And like just when you can't have that and you really want that in the car scene, and anytime you go to like a car meet and there's always something, it does kill the joy of even going to a car meet.
Mhm.
So I did send you something on Instagram that we are currently working on. Actually, I gotta bring it up to my team earlier, well later, but it's I have an idea that possibly could take the car scene in the right direction.
Okay.
You can either check it out now or later, but basically it's like a resort for the car scene type
Oh.
type deal. So the plan for that is to really give the car scene a true spot to call home. It has space for everything. Drifting, drag strip. It'll have like a community barn, community parking lot for like for car meets. And then basically we can control the narrative. We can control who get in, who don't get in. So now we can take out all them bad seeds and now we can truly build something genuine going forward for the car scene. So that's something that we
That's
working on.
definitely a
That's something
fire idea.
hopefully one day we can make it happen. Not hopefully. I know one day we will make it happen. And then we'll have that for the car scene going forward. So it'll definitely like hopefully boost back people wanting to come outside or bring their car outside or even we can host nightly car meets there
Yeah.
and give it that true environment. So that's what we're working on going forward. But
Yeah,
uh
that's a fire idea.
I was talking to somebody else earlier who was coming on the podcast, I think Sunday. But she was saying the same thing you said when she said the car scene burnt her out. And it's like you hate to see that because for somebody to lose passion within the car scene, a lot had to happen for them to lose that spark with it. And you just hate to see that because the car scene could be so beautiful for everybody to be in.
Oh yeah, it could be amazing. And like you had said before, it's the people. Like you always have that one, as my mom always says, the one rotten apple. No matter what and I've seen so many people try to have, park and chills, and I've seen it get shut down because someone couldn't chill. And it's just like, bring it back to when everybody could enjoy their fun. If you wanted to just park up, you didn't get messed with. They didn't care. You wanted to go do the sliding and all the extra stuff and the racing, they didn't care. You had your own spots. Like I feel like the takeover, it just became, I enjoyed, and I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed the takeover time. When I came in, we were having spots for, hours. Cops wouldn't come, things wasn't so chaotic and crazy. People knew what spot to go to. It wasn't, everyone just racing out. I think when the takeover really became, everybody's spot became a spot to use. So if you were just over at Walgreens parking lot sitting, you can't sit there now because they were just sliding there last week. And they're going to assume you're going to slide again. So I feel like if it just could be, let the spots just be the spots that they were, spots for sliding, spots for racing. If you just want to chill, chill. I would love to see that come back again because I'm all for, yeah, I like having my fun, but I also like parking up. I like enjoying, just my car, just sitting there, talking to other people. I don't always want to be, spot hopping or, driving at 120 all the time, you know? So I would love to see that come back. And I think if it did, I think I would definitely be like, "Oh my god, like, this is the car scene I remembered, like, this is." But, I don't it's just everybody just has, like, you just have that one rotten person that just kind of ruins everything, and it is sad. It is very sad because I do know a lot of people, the racers, that have the one spot, that always go to the one spot, they can't do that anymore because it became a sliding spot or a bungee spot. So, hopefully, this plan will do that because that's actually, I really wish everyone could see the plan and the format of it because I think it would be wake up and see your car, or wake up and see your, your friend sliding, or,
Mhm.
you got a track right there. Hey, let's go line it up. Bring the
That's
fun and enjoy back.
that's the whole idea of it, and, the reason why I thought of, like, the campground, you could say. So I thought about, like, anytime you go to a drag strip and, like, say, like, it's, like, an event that lasts, like, the entire weekend, instead of leaving, imagine if we can get them a spot to basically make documentaries or for people to make memories, make videos, do
Yeah,
vlogs.
relax for the weekend.
It's like a true like resort type feeling where like all your friends, you can just come to one spot and you got so many car enthusiasts all in one spot and you don't gotta leave. Like it won't be shut down. I mean, again, it's gonna be rules, but I feel like at that point, everybody adults, everybody know what to do and what not to do. So I feel like that's
Mhm.
something that you don't got to worry about. But just imagine just being up all night with your friend and getting a use to drive strip, getting a use to drift pad, and like you just go at it all night with all your homeboys and all your homegirls. I feel like that would give the community like a home. Definitely something we go make happen for sure. And then
I definitely
hopefully
think that's gonna be a really good idea.
hopefully it keep people in the car scene because once you get in the car scene, I will say this much: it's hard to leave it
Mhm.
because
You'll
you
always
just
have that you'll always have that bug. I did step out a while ago for, like, a year. I came right back. I missed it. Like, you'll never fully be over it because once it's in your blood, it's in your blood.
Mhm. It's just like a itch that you just can't get rid of. So, I'm hoping that'll save the people who wanna leave the car scene. They see that, something beautiful is being built. But far as that, in the meantime, I'm actually working on making the podcast feel like a lifestyle community than just a podcast. So, I'm actually trying to build a community around this. That way, if I mean, the meets won't be that often, but when we do have one, it'd be like a true legit meet, a nice park and chill, music, food. I'll be even doing interviews out there if people want to. And then, just get a car scene a little twist. Like, it's a nice park and chill, but it's still stuff to do at the car meet. So that's what I'm also working on. And I'm going forward, I'm hoping what I can do is meet people in different areas. And the ideas that I do have, I could sponsor the meets, or one day I could travel and be a part of the meets, but bring all my ideas to the people in different states and different cities and get them my plan, my idea, and see how that works. That way we can kind of sort of give community something back. And if we got to gatekeep in the meantime, we just got to gatekeep. But at least we give the community, the real community of the car scene, that spot back. That's what I'm working on also. But
Get that community feeling back, because I feel like the car community has gotten very cliquey over the years. I definitely feel like they've gotten very cliquey over the years, and it's not so much a community and people working together. I think it's just, "Oh, well, you don't hang out with this person, so, eh." And I think I heard someone else on one of your podcasts mention that too.
mhm.
Yeah, it's
uh, what's her nickname? She was just talking about that.
yeah, I think I had when I had watched one of your podcasts, I think it was hers, and I remember her saying that, and I'm like, "Yeah, it really has gotten very cliquey." It is very cliquey.
It is, it is for sure. That's why I wanna. That's why I want to talk to the actual community itself, not like the people with the influence, because they don't have influence if the community don't give it to them. So I
Mm,
know for a fact the community can give the community influence. I think I want to say she also in Florida. I just want to. It'll be hard to try to make the dream or the goal I have possible. It would be hard, but it's not impossible to actually make it happen. I just gotta find the right crowd of people in different cities and just get them to link up with the right people. Host these meets, like I say, either in the meantime, either we gatekeep, but we keep it private enough that way you can actually go to a meet and just enjoy it. And then, just branch out with other people and make that happen. So it is something I it is something I work on behind closed doors on how to reach out to those people to actually try to put a meet together, even though I'm not there. It's still like an idea that I put out there for for people. But I do want
yeah.
to ask, how do you feel about being a woman in the car scene, and how do you feel about car groups also?
I feel like for females, it's a lot harder, and I say that because we are females, so obviously we are going to get more attention than a guy. We can have the exact same car and probably nothing done, and we're gonna get more likes, more views because we are a female. So as far as being a female in the car community, it is hard, trying to, just appreciate your car and just, throw out content of stuff that you're doing with your car, what build I'm trying to do. And I feel like the clickies, you get the, oh, well, she's just a car girl, or, you know, I, and I don't think it ever really used to be that hard to be a car girl in the car community. But now I just feel like with this new age, it's just, if you're a car girl, feel like it's just harder. Um, but I have, with that being said, also being a female in the car community, I've been able to meet some really, really great people. I've, been able to be in touch with some people, some great mechanics, and I've been really great to, meet some people at legal pits and stuff like that and talk about cars. Actually, one of the guys at my job would have never known he was a car guy, and his favorite car is a GTR, and we started talking about the VQs. Um, so, it's been really kind of cool to just meet different people and having that advantage, but it definitely sucks. Some days it just sucks being a car girl, but it does have its perks. I enjoy it and I wouldn't change it for nothing. I really wouldn't.
Okay, so um, like I said, me and my team actually putting together a podcast strictly for women. It will be me and a co-host named Shane, but the rest of the guests will be just strictly females, and we're gonna go over like a lot of topics, basically more in depth of women in the car scene. So if you do want to be a part of that, let me know, and I'll
Yeah.
basically add you to that podcast as well.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to, because I would love to hear what other girls have to say.
Okay. Then once you're done with this podcast, I'll just let you know the update of it. But that is something that mean that we are. So I'll say this much: I was raised, technically speaking, by four women. Really, my mom, my grandma, my auntie Danette. Well, technically five. My auntie Danette. I used to call them a auntie. I'm just then Helen and Nisi. Technically speaking, them five women had the biggest impact on me growing up. And then, of course, my stepdad. But like, far as the women's side of it, them five really had the biggest impact on me growing up. So I'm I'm a big person advocating for women in the car scene because we need more of it.
Mhm.
Like I always say, they bring more creativity. They bring something that men don't. They're not afraid to actually put something on their car and be like, I don't care. Like
Yeah.
it gives it a balance because now and then it's nothing. We shouldn't bash females for wanting to be a part of the car scene. Not at
Or
all. Like,
learning, and I feel like, not to cut you off, I
good.
know, and I feel like that's a big reason why a lot of females have shied off from getting the cars that enjoy cars, because of the bashing and, the shaming and, "Oh, that's, it's a man's world." It can be both. There's nothing wrong with a female working on a car. There's nothing wrong with a man helping her work on the car. Like, it goes hand in hand, and I've always believed the reason why there hasn't been females or more females joining is just because of how negative towards females it really has been. Like, and I almost want to say, us car girls need to stick together and we need to band together and make a whole little group, but they don't wanna join because it's always something, and even in and I feel like it's more worse if you're a car girl in a group. I feel like it just gets worse for you from there, and it's like, "Why? Can't we just, I like my car, I like your car, you like cars, you think my car's cool. Why can't we just be friends and talk about it?" Or talk about our future plans, about what build we want or what car we want. Like, why does it always have to be this big thing? And then I feel like for the females, we deal with more drama than you guys do. Maybe not as much, but I feel like we do get a little bit more drama.
I mean, I often say this, and some might take it offensive, some might, some not. You do have some men in the car scene that just act like females. Don't knock to females though. Don't. I'm not saying it in the bad way, but you do have some men in the car scene that just act like a last boy, or just like a they. So the drama, I feel like the drama is equal on both parts because just as much drama the girls have in the car scene with girls, it's just as much drama as men have in the car scene with other men. And I just, yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like I just necking with that one.
it goes hand in hand, I think, with that.
For sure it does. Car scene, I've been like, I haven't been in the car scene that long either. I started in 2023. That's when I had my first car group. But I will say, talking to other females about being in car groups, they have said it was hard. And I just know from personal experience what females get coming to the car scene. The picture they get painted if they got a nice car, always OnlyFans or this or is that. And just truth be told, we shouldn't be. It don't matter. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this one thing. I know for a fact if a dude could have the same kind of platform doing the same kind of thing, they doing it.
Period. Period.
So, like, it just spade for spade. I know for a fact if men had the same kind of avenue, they doing it. It don't matter how a person got what they got. If they worked for it, if they didn't, if they did have daddy's money or mommy's money, the thing that you got the bigger picture is the parents did what they had to do to make sure their
Mhm.
child was set up.
Mhm.
Why we bashing that? Granted, at some point they had their own money, but if their parents put them on early without them having to worry about all that struggle, kudos to the parents. They did their job. They did what they had to do. They put themselves in a good spot to put their kids in a better spot. But at the end of the day, no matter how a person got it, we should always respect them for actually having the courage to come out to anything that's out of their comfort zone and try to be a part of something. We should not that. And the one thing going forward that we're trying to build within the community and the lifestyle that we're trying to take this podcast is I'm gonna always advocate for women in the car seat. Never go bash them. I don't care what you did to get what you got. I don't care. I want to hear your story without judgment. Uh, and when I do these podcasts with everybody, I'm here to listen. I'm here to listen, not listen to criticize or give opinions or any of that. I'm just openly all ears to hear where you came from to where you are now, how you got there, how was it getting there. Like I just want to just pick apart your brain and see like what made you do that choice or why you chose to do that. That's why I started this for that we can all relate in that sense. But to knock somebody for how they got something, that's that's just not what it is.
And I feel
That's
like
not what the car's
that's
even about.
and I think that's the way it's moved, and it's sad. You know, you even though, yes, there are younger people coming out, and I love to see, the 21-year-old coming out, you guys are new, you're the fresh blood for the car scene, quote unquote, to keep, the car
Hmm.
scene alive. I love that. And I just feel like a lot of people, trust me, I did it at one point in time too. Like, oh, he's got mommy and daddy money. So he just is gonna show off. Trust me, I wish I had my mommy and daddy money. I wish I did. When I got my skag, my mom made sure I was at work every day. She's like, "You got a car to pay for." So,
Hmm.
kudos to them, for your parents helping you. And I mean, I really wish, like we had said before, the car scene moved in a direction for a short time period of it was just negative, it was just, bashful, it was just not a place people really wanted to be at. And, there's a lot of people stepping out, a lot of people, selling their cars because they were just done with it. I really, hope that 2026, the car scene starts getting a glimmer of hope of seeing, hey, look, regardless of everything like you just said, we all have one thing in common: the cars. Why can't we use that to bring us together as a unity instead of us being cliquey and, oh, she's in that group or oh, he rolls with them. We all have one common thing. We love the cars. Whether we love going fast or we love going in circles or we just love the car, what we built. We all have one thing in common: the car. And I think and I know with, some of your plans is definitely gonna bring some of that back, but I definitely hope 2026 people see, "Hey, look, we all have cars, we all enjoy it, why can't we just get together and chill? Like, have fun, enjoy it."
So speaking on that, another thing that me and my team currently is working on is we're going to start doing like a media thing for the car scene. So eventually, I'm gonna start to reach out to people that's heavy in the car scene that goes to car meets that want to be a part of it. But we want to start capturing the car scenes in different cities, and then so have somebody. So okay, I know you up north, right? But I don't know how far up north. So
You're in Florida. I'm like 14 hours.
okay, so
I'm right
basically,
in well, maybe not 14, I'm right in Maryland.
so the plan is right. If I could find somebody in Maryland that's that goes to car meets a lot, if I could have a person up there like recording the car scene, like basically like going to car meets, getting the videos of the car scene in general, like what it's like to be at a Maryland car scene or the Maryland culture, right? Record that, and then we do that. We do it here in Florida. We have somebody do it in New York. Have somebody do it in New Jersey, and then we just get clips of the scene, have people take pictures, just record the car scene in general. And then we come back and we talk about on the podcast about how different each culture is. But also we still show that the car community is still there.
Mhm.
that's also something that we are working on is to try to cover the car scenes of the different cities, the different states. That's something that we are working on also.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea, and you can, like, put all the clips together and do, like, different states. Yeah, that would be dope.
So that's something that we're trying to figure out how to actually execute now going forward because like I say, the car scene is in a great area. A lot of people say it's not bad, it's not good, but then again, they're also still in the middle of it. Would you ever join a car group?
I'll join one again, yeah.
That's also what that's also what the girl was talking about on her podcast was how the car groups also put a bad taste on the car scene. Also, some, not all, not all
Yeah,
car
not
groups.
I would definitely agree with that. Not all, but some. There are some that I think is kind of why some of the clubs have died down or just started laying low.
Definitely sound way. If there, do you have anything you want to ask or bring up or talk about that you've been
Mm,
thinking about?
I think we've hit everything that I've really wanted to get out about the car scene.
Okay. I think I asked everything too. I do have one more question before we actually finish the podcast off, though. If you could put a message on the billboard for the car scene, what would it be?
I could put a message on a billboard. The car scene. Um, stop worrying about everything. Just enjoy the drive.
Short and sweet, but would be nice if we all could do that.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, I'm gonna keep you updated on technically everything else, the podcast I was telling you about.
Okay. Yeah.
And then other ideas I do have that we could potentially work on or even collab on. I'll text you about.
Okay. Awesome.
And then the rest of I'll probably just talk to you about in DMs. But I want to say thank you for coming on the podcast today. I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for being a part of the community. And just thank you overall for being a part of the podcast and taking your time out of the day to talk to us and tell your story. Really
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having me. It's been great, and I've enjoyed talking about the car scene, and hopefully, I'm looking forward to the future with it.
Thing. Trying to save it.
Yep.
But thank you though. I'm gonna let you get to your night and I'll get to you about everything else.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you. You have a best night.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye. And again, I want to thank everybody who came out. Thank you for the support. Thank you for always being here. Thank you for always listening to the stories. And again, it's thank you. So just remember, it's your car, your story, but this is our community. Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed night.